You know, one of these days, this Texas country is going to be the greatest place in the world for a man to settle down. The fighting will be over with the Indians, and the outlaws will all be where they belong, fertilizing these grassy hills. A man can put his young'uns to bed at night and lay down with his wife and feel good about things. Let's go back over at the hotel. Had a cup of his coffee, the preacher. If you don't drink it pretty quick, it'll get cool and it'll set up. It'll set up just like adobe. You know, it really will. It'll just sit there and get hard on you. He makes strong coffee, but if you'll drink it in a hurry, it sure will pick you up. You know, get it when you can swallow it. And don't have to drain out the chunks. That'll work too. And he's a pretty good cook, you know. I've known Preacher for a long time. Met him in Dodge. And I don't guess I ever heard of him having any trouble with anybody. But I know one thing. If you need some backup, he'll be there. Attaboy, Jake. Attaboy, Jake. Attaboy, Jake. You can count on him. He can do a little more than scramble eggs and make strong coffee.
Why-headed man sweeping a port.
Well, hello, Ransom. It's old buddy from Dodge City. How you doing?
I'm still alive. You didn't expect that, did you?
No, I sure didn't.
Well, I didn't either.
How you been doing?
Yeah, I wish you hadn't brought up Dodge. I don't have too many memories of Dodge.
Oh,
Good ones anyway.
My goodness, it's good to see you.
How about that coffee?
Oh, I'll take it in a heartbeat.
All right, sir. Got coffee and some hot roast and some fried taters.
Hot roast?
You bet.
Yeah, I can handle some of that.
We got it. Just come
Got
on.
any oats down there for this old pony?
Well, they ought to be.
I'm tired of corn dodgers, I can tell you that. I need to take this old pony down here and get off of him before I collapse.
And Bert still got some of that whiskey.
I believe there's a bottle or two around here somewhere just for snake bite.
Well, I got 4 or 5 of them. We'll run on down there. We'll be back and I'll see you here in a bit.
Come on back quick as you can.
Good to see you, brother.
Take care, Ransom.
Come on, Jake, let's go eat.
I sure do appreciate it. And thank you very much.
All right, you
and
bet.
just have a wonderful day. Keep watching that Galveston News. I'm going to write a story about you.
Well, I read it all the time. I'd like to see that.
Well, I'm going to do it. Thank you very much, and you just have a wonderful day.
See
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Hey! Hey! Mister! Got a gun on! Oh! You got a gun!
What's happening? What in coronation? What? Who's that fella?
Oh, I hate about that. Yeah, I know this man. He's the father of a fellow I had to kill in Dodge. I'm sorry, he was a good man. He promised me he'd avenge his son's death. He was trying. Sad part about it, his son will never know it. And the sad part about it is I got to try to find his wife. Hate that.
You had to do what you had to do, Mark.
Yeah, sometimes you do, but it sure don't make you sleep any better at night.
Take a seat.
You too.
I'm glad you're still alive, sir.
Bless his heart. Bless yours. Well, we got to get him. Henry Marshall.
Yes, sir. Work for the Galveston News.
Galveston, well, you look, I saw you a while ago, and I couldn't help but notice you. You look sort of, if you pardon me for saying it, you look sort of sissy.
I understand, sir.
Hot cup of coffee. Fresh made.
Wouldn't lie to that fellow, would you?
No, wouldn't do that. Morning, Marshal. Where you been? Just got up, had a wonderful night's sleep. Mind if I take a seat with you?
No, sir, sit down there,
Thanks,
but
sir.
Hot cup of
Thank you,
coffee.
sir. Appreciate that very much.
I think he got that. Surely not. That garter he's got on his sleeve, that must come off that girl over at the Red Dog.
I ain't saying a word about that.
Well,
you're a true gentleman, sir.
Well, I'll be thankful for this paper, bud.
You're welcome.
C.F. Rudolph. He's got a newspaper over at Tascosa.
Tascosa has a paper, huh?
Yeah, he moved up there. Tascosa's a young little town. Got a lot of businesses up there.
Yes, sir.
And,
I've heard of it quite a bit, but I did not realize they had a paper.
That's a mean town. They got a boot hill already pretty well started. Now, this thing of you riding with me, what is it that you're wanting to do?
Well, sir, I work for the Galveston News, and actually I want to promote Texas. It's growing fast, and I think we have a great state here, and I would play some little part in it, contribute to it, because this is the greatest state I could have ever imagined.
Now, you're damn sure a man after my heart. I appreciate
Well, thank you, sir. I like to think that. I would love to go with you just to report, because you're one of my heroes from the past, sir.
I appreciate that, but it don't take much to satisfy you.
Mr. Marshal Riley has been around for a long time,
Well,
and you've helped clean this West up. And you're making Texas just a great place to live. It's getting rid of all the bandits and banditos, and we're going to be all right.
Normally, I'm going to be honest with you. I would say no, because I like to ride by myself.
Would you gentlemen like me to rustle up some victuals?
You got any breakfast? Yeah, you got, bud. You bring it to it. Well, I'll tell you what, Henry. Yeah, you can ride with me.
Well, I sure do appreciate that, Marshal Riley. Thank you very much.
Now, there might be sometimes I'll have you to stay back a little bit, because you're a young man, and I don't want to get you killed.
I'm not a rifleman, sir. I'm not a gunslinger. I'm a newspaper reporter, but I will back you up if necessary.
Well, I don't doubt. I saw that this morning.
Well, I didn't have a weapon on me of any kind, and I don't like carrying guns in the city or any
Okay.
kind of little town.
Back on this Archivecki thing, Sarsteen's is one mean hombre.
That's what I read, and I've heard a lot about him.
Oh, I'd read him.
And I can imagine why. He's a pretty bad man. Comanchero, I believe, isn't he?
Yes, sir. All the way.
And that's just not going to be fun. Well, thank you, sir. Warm your bellies up with some of that. You're a good man. Thank you very much. So tell me more about this Archivecki you're talking about.
This character I'm going for, Moore County, New Mexico, around Las Vegas, his name is Sarsteen's Archivecki.
Yes, sir. Heard a lot about him.
They don't come no worse.
That's what I've heard about it.
He's going to be something to get, I can tell you that.
Yes, sir.
The story of it is there's 4 Kasner brothers, and they come in from Nevada where they struck it rich in the gold fields. Made a lot of good money.
That coffee good and hot,
And Sarsteen's is sort of hooked in with old Goodenough.
Howdy, boys. Howdy, how you doing? Pretty good.
How you doing there, fella? Doing all right?
Oh, yeah, I survived all the big shoot-up yesterday. That's the biggest ruckus we've had in Jericho since the last time you left.
You know, it hurt me worse.
I bet it did.
Yeah, it did. It really did, because to see a man that would give his life for a worthless son like this guy had, you can't imagine how
You're getting soft in your old age.
And, you know, when you get fat, you get a little soft. Is that what you meant?
That's right. You're getting uglier too, if you really want to know.
But I'll tell you, well, now, you didn't have to bring that up. I got fillies down in the southern part of the state that don't think I'm very ugly.
Yeah, they're blind.
So he's been a friend a long time, but I think what we need to do is discuss.
I had a wonderful bath last night. Have you taken a bath here lately?
No, I had one less than a week ago. 5 or 6 days ago. Wait.
Wrong time of year to take a bath.
Well, it was, and I got it. But
I like the bath, sir.
But it wasn't too bad down there. This was down around Supply.
Fort Supply.
Yeah, Fort Supply is what they call it.
Fort.
I come through there. It wasn't too bad. I found a sand hole down there, and some of the stuff that was on there pretty dirty. I had to get a hole full of that sand, scrub it, and I got pretty clean. So I don't reckon. I think I'll pass
Well,
that.
sir, you don't know what you're missing.
You think you're gonna leave town with this guy and you going after an outlaw?
Well, sir, I'm just trying to get the story because Texas is the greatest state in the nation, and I want to bring the stories of what's going on here to the people. They need to find out what's going on and how this man right here has been cleaning up the West.
But I'm not sure you're with the right man.
Well, I can duck pretty well. Did you not see me yesterday?
I seen you did. I heard you ducked and I heard those gunshots going, but he kind of draws far like a bullseye on a target.
Well, I can shoot a weapon myself, sir. Hopefully I won't have to do that at all. But I can get the story, then I'm going to be good to go.
If we get Sostines, I'll guarantee you we would have bagged them as bad as there is in this whole country.
Well, then I'm ready for that.
Let's go get it.
Bad news.
Bert, come ride with us.
Go.
Man, preacher's got to run this place.
Well, I bet old preacher could run it.
No,
Why, you get him in that Red Dog, I know him. He'd stay over there all the time.
Yeah, I know. He'd stay over there and drink up all my whiskey.
Go out and see if I can do something about that horse I got. I couldn't get him to turn. We gotta do it, buddy.
Sounds good, sir, and I will be seeing you first thing tomorrow morning.
All right, you got a gun?
Yes, sir, I do.
You got a rifle?
I've got a shotgun.
That's better.
Okay.
And let's meet in the morning. We'll have breakfast here. We'll saddle and we'll take off at that.
Sounds good to me, sir.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Texas and me. Woo! No, Henry old Bert, he's not duck, ain't he? I just got to listening to him the other day. He done well down there on that place. But he's sure not duck, wearing that old long white hair. And he got some stories he can tell you though about that part of the country. Buffaloes, Indians coming through. So he got a lot of more education than he wants people to know he's got. And I don't know if that makes him smart or not, because education is whatever you make of it. But got a good place there. Got some good whiskey too.
These mountain men, they left St. Louis, and they was going to take this herd of goats with them until they got to buffalo country.
Goats?
Goats. For meat.
Okay.
Well, none of these mountain men ever heard of goats before.
Okay.
But the sheep herders told them these goats and told them how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't get too far from St. Louis that the coyotes picked up the smell of these goats.
Yeah.
And which upset the goats immensely.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, night come along, they sat around a campfire, and they had all the goats tied up to a big old tree out there by the creek.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pretty soon all you hear is these coyotes hollering, and the goats, they commenced jumping around, and they stampeded the horses. Well, being the good mountain men we went after the horses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we got back, the lead goat, which we tied to the tree to keep the others around there, he'd done jumped through this fork in that tree, and he hung himself.
Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm.
And that right there told us it wasn't going to be a good trip when supper hangs itself.
Yeah.
Think we're going to be having any trouble with the engine?
Oh, yeah, I saw the sign. There's a whole party of Comanche working this area.
I thought they was Pawnee.
No, there's Comanche.
You don't know hog jowls from horse apples.
Yes, I do. They're Comanche.
Over there. That's Mountain Men Camp.
Beans are done. I guess we better eat before we go back to work.
We got riders coming in. Y'all empty your hands. Put your guns down.
What are y'all doing here?
I'm Federal Marshal Ransom Riley. I'd like to visit with you in a friendly manner.
Come on in, Marshal.
Boy, that coffee, I got a whiff of it in my wind.
We got some good coffee, Marshal.
How you doing?
Jim Marshall. This is Jim Green.
Good to see you.
Henry Marshall.
Good to meet you, sir.
Glad to
Boy,
meet
it's good
you.
to see anybody that's got a cap like this, isn't it?
Y'all come on in and grab a cup.
Warm up a little bit, it'd be nice. Thank you very much for
Boy,
your kindness,
isn't that
gentlemen.
Sorry about the guns pulling down on you, but you can't be too careful anymore.
Completely understand.
Y'all can grab your guns if you want
I'll
to.
go get them. Thank you, sir.
You bet.
What, you guys have a good time down here tonight?
Yeah. Colonel Goodnight hired us to come hunt coyotes and wolves that'd been getting his calves.
Well, I'll be. He
Y'all
takes
will-
care of the country, don't he?
Yeah, I mean, his quarter of his calf crop went to wolves last year.
Quarter of it.
He ain't happy, and he saw us and said, y'all want a job?
Thank you.
And so he said, okay, first doing what? And he said, shooting wolves and coyotes. Like, that we can do.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he's clearing the country up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've done good.
Well, I'm trying to get some information on this Sosthenes Archivecki character that's over in Tascosa.
Well, you know, Marshal, we heard that Mexican got killed a few days ago up in old Tascosa.
Yeah.
He did get killed. Sosthene Archivecki did?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, all the cowboys were talking about it. while we were loading
I
up.
hope you're right, man. I know you're telling me right. I don't doubt your word.
Well, that name sure is familiar. They told us he done got killed up there at old Tascosa.
I think what I'm wanting to say is I hope he's in the ground.
Well, maybe somebody saved you a lot of work, Marshal.
Maybe you brought some good news. Y'all got a good camp here.
Thank you.
Appreciate your hospitality.
How about some coffee? You reckon y'all can y'all
You bet.
pour a little coffee?
Oh, yeah, well, that's one thing we got enough of.
This coffee's been brewing all morning. It ought to be good and
That
stout.
is good. Thank you, sir.
Where'd you fellas y'all decide to come to the Flatland for?
Oh, we got tired up there in the mountains.
Well, there's not.
Run plumb out of beaver.
Yeah.
Most of the buffalo are killed off.
Yeah.
So we come down here to work for Mr. Goodnight. He said he'd have a job for us killing wolves and coyotes. Most of the mountain men, they've come out of the mountains now, and ain't no telling. A lot of them are bourgeoising for a bunch of greasers going west to California and Oregon, leading wagon trains and just having to find other things to do.
Boy, that's sad, I guess.
It was shining times there for a while.
I'll be honest with you. Thought I was the toughest man in the world till I met a couple of mountain men.
Well, you know what softened a bunch of them up? They started bringing white women up in the mountains.
Is that right?
That did it. As soon as that happened, boy, I mean, everything changed.
That's a bad mistake.
They wouldn't cross the divide, had to bring everything in wagons, then jacked up the prices.
Jacked the prices on everything. Scalping knives went sky high.
Well,
We just figured it a lot easier down here.
About a lot of things, and I sure wouldn't want to get cross with you about anything, but they're sure nice to snuggle up against when it's cold.
They sure are.
Gotta admit that.
They sure are. Well, the last news fellow we knew of come up here was going to interview some Comanche Indians for the paper, and we found him down by the creek stuck through so many arrows, looked like porcupine.
Well, I'm a little more careful in that, gentleman. I hadn't seen too many wolves out there either coming across this country.
Well, you ain't going to see that to me.
So y'all taking them out good so people can move in.
Well, since the Army come in and cleared most of the engines out, the Mexican bandits about the only thing we have to worry about around here.
Well, we're probably stopping y'all, so I'll tell you what, fellas, we're going to clear out of camp,
and let you be, and I appreciate you being so friendly with us.
Yeah.
My friend, I thank you.
Marshal, you can take it easy.
Okay.
Y'all just have a wonderful evening. All righty.
We'll be in the country if you run across a little town back here called Jericho. Drop in. Old
We'll do that.
got some good whiskey there.
We'll do that.
Man.
And they got a little old gal there with a red dress on, and she'll serve it to you.
Oh.
I mean
Female?
the whiskey.
Oh.
Good.
All right, fellas, y'all take it easy.
When you get back to old Charlie's, tell him old Marshall said hello.
We'll do that.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You bet.
They seem like pretty energetic old boys, didn't they? Had a nice little camp.
Check these things.
Appreciate their hospitality. You know, son, I don't know what it was that wolf hunter had in that jug. Told me he made it himself. But, that'd make you want to tangle with a wildcat, wouldn't it? You're a little slow at getting up if you drink too much of it in the morning. Well, I don't know. They had a pretty good camp. I imagine old Goodnight's paid them pretty good. You'd be surprised what them old wolves can cost you when you got a bunch of calves out there, a bunch of cows dropping calves. Them old wolves eat them calves up in a minute. And,
Ooh, how you doing, Marshal?
Hey, what's happening, Henry?
Ooh, it's cold out there. Tell you what, went and checked all the horses out, the gear, everything's ready to go, and I hate to leave Mobile. It's a pretty nice little town.
Yeah, it is. It sure is. This town it's got some notable people in it, good people, professional people. But you know, when them skinners come in here, them buffalo hunters, I'm gonna tell you what, it's a marshal's nightmare.
I can understand that, sir.
Hey, I enjoyed visiting with them mountain boys yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I got to meet them.
Yeah,
They worked out pretty good.
It is. They working for Charlie Goodnight, you know, and it sounds like they got a lot of respect for Charlie.
That's what I think too, because
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for him too. I've been following this guy for a long time.
But Charlie's a good man.
Yes, sir.
I got another thing I'd like to ask you about too. You were telling me about when you left Memphis, your mother had fixed it up and she gave you a few dollars.
Oh, you're talking about my rap trip?
Yeah.
She gave me $3. And actually gave me $3.50. I had it in my pocket. Everything was going great. And I remember that night still. It was late night. We've been traveling down Mississippi a couple of days. And I'd noticed that two of the members weren't there anymore. They disappeared at night, just one at a time. I didn't know what was going on, but nobody said anything about them, so I thought maybe this was preordained, and I just didn't know about it. I'll tell you what, that third night, that's when, this big, dark man, he was probably about 350 pounds. He came up to me and said, "Son, how much money you got in your pocket?" I said, "Well, sir, I got the $3.50 my mom gave me." He said, "Well, you're just going to go ahead and hand that over right now." Slapped me upside my face, so harsh. Guy weighed at least 350. And so I reached in my pocket and gave him that $3.50.
I guess so.
I didn't have a choice, you know. I wasn't going in the brink if I didn't.
I might have done the same thing.
So I reached in, I pulled it out and gave it to him. But that just didn't sit right with me one bit. And so what I did was that night, I was on guard duty. He came walking up to me and said that I was his boy, and then he was going to do with whatever he wanted to do. And so I had this oar that was just sitting there, and he was leaning over the boat. So I figured, well, I don't want to get stabbed, I don't want to get killed, I ain't going to be nobody's boy. So I took that oar and I just slapped him upside the head as soon as he came up, and over he went.
Give me that in the water.
I put him in the water. And then I heard him yelling and screaming. Everybody else passed out because they all got drunk that day. I tossed him a rope. He pulled himself back up to the boat. He's pretty exhausted because that water current was just going pretty good that
Why
day.
did you throw him the rope?
I didn't get my money back. He came up, told me to help him up. Couldn't get out. Give me that $3 and I'll help you out. So he reaches into his pocket, hanging onto that rope, and it's going fast. And he puts that money up there on the deck. sure enough, I got $4.50 out of it.
Made a little money on
Made a little money, and then I thought, well, if I help you back on, I'm going to be in the drink. And to get my money back, I pulled my knife out, cut the rope. And as he was drifting away, I said, sir, you have a wonderful evening. Had never seen him since, thank the Lord, because it's not being good. I had an extra $1, so I had my $4. Well, that was my adventure. Up until that point, it was kind of rough. But the next day, everyone was kind of treating me different.
And you're 16 years old.
I didn't say a word. And by the time we got to port, I went on down, got the train, and
now that was the Mississippi, wasn't it?
yes, sir.
He's still out there.
I've been keeping my eye open for him ever since.
I tell you what, son, you learned it at a young age that the only way you're going to survive is be in charge.
That's what you got to do, especially out here in this country. Well, I got these horses all ready and ready to go.
Well, we'll ride out old Llano. I didn't tell you this yesterday at that mountain camp. You know, Sosthenes, thank God he's out of our hair. We don't have to go to task force.
Yes, sir.
I've been dealt with.
You sound like a pretty rough individual at the time.
Well, now, this old boy, I was told, was looking for me. And he even had the word that you was going to ride with me, son. So we're going to have to be on the lookout because this guy's me.
Well, we can do that, sir.
Well, he runs an organization over on the Canadian called Robert Roost.
Okay, I've heard of that.
That's a meeting place, and this is a meet on the board. So what we're going to have to do is keep an eye out for him. In fact, I'd like to sort of just scout that country out and see if we can find him. Because if we're going to have trouble with him, son, I'd rather just rush him and kill the sucker and get out of it. Just get him out of my mind. It's hard to sleep at night when you know somebody's just dying to kill you. And that's what's going to happen to him. He's going to die trying to kill you. Well, we're the law and they the outlaws. We got the good Lord on our side. I don't say that often, but I have to revert to that every once in a while. You ain't got no qualms about going with me.
I don't have it at all. I want to get the story, and I think you're the man that's going to take me there to get the stories.
Well,
let's go.
Story's yours. I just hope you live long enough to ride.
Oh, I'll be all right. If anybody's shooting at us, I figure you're going to jump it away. Let's go on. Let's go ride.
Hey, you might be taking too much for granted, sir, buddy.
Well, we'll get back to Jericho, and old Temple Houston's coming in Thursday. And you say you want to interview him?
Oh, I would love to interview him.
I'll get that fixed for you. Cool. Hey, wait, look out. There's that camp over there.
There's camp right there. Walk along that ledge up there. I'll ride into that camp.
Yeah, I saw right off that fear didn't hamper your efforts, young feller. I hadn't seen you afraid of nothing since I've known you. Why, hell, you saved my damn life the first time I ever laid eyes on you. Figured you to be a plumb fool or a fool with a little grit. And I think a fool with a little grit's probably what you wound up being.
Tell all the camp.
Hold up, sir. What's your name?
Ransom Riley, U.S. Marshal. I need to talk to you.
Well, looks like we took care of that.
You all right, Marshal?
We got him.
kill him. I told you I could shoot, Marshal. Still not my favorite thing to do.
Well, I'll deputize you, Henry. Damn sure will. Let's drink to that. What do you say, Henry? Let's have a drink to that. Where's that bottle?
Hello there, Marshal. How you doing? I've been looking for you.
Well, I just come in here to get a couple of pots of birch coffee.
Let's get some coffee.
I could sure use her right now.
I hadn't seen you in quite a while.
It's been a good spell.
Well, by George,
Old Seal, Oklahoma, wasn't it?
yeah, that's up there at Seal.
I thought it was.
We had a bunch of meetings up there.
Mackenzie was there,
That's
wasn't
right. That's when you was, you was helping old Judge Parker.
And now you're the chief commander for 4 days.
I got some boys camped up here on McClellan, and I thought I'd drop down and see where this Jericho was. And by golly, it's a pretty good little old town.
Sure is.
And I'm so glad. I thought I might run across you because, you got some news for you. The feller named Goodnow?
Goodnow,
Yeah.
He's who I'm looking for.
Well, he come across our country, and I had a patrol take him towards Fort Seal. And before he got too far out there, them Buffalo soldiers and him, they parted ways, and they finally caught him again. And the captain just decided to string him up and put him in a cottonwood tree.
You mean they hung him?
He's still a swinging.
Is he?
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about old
Well, what's
Goodnow.
going to happen to your men?
They were on patrol, and they defended themselves.
Well, I'll tell you what,
okay.
as a federal marshal,
Yes.
let's just decide right now there weren't nothing you couldn't do about it.
Absolutely.
You wasn't there, and we decree him dead in the line of duty, and we just don't want to talk no more about that.
Okay, that's good enough
All
for
right,
me.
good enough. Did they bury him?
No, sir. He's still swinging in that
Well, they need
cottonwood
to
tree.
bury him.
Well, if you want to go do that, go ahead.
You need to hide the evidence.
Well, I'll tell the boys then on the next patrol to
Bury him,
just
yeah.
put him down in that stream.
Yeah, and then if they ask us in Washington what happened with us, say he just disappeared. We don't know what happened.
He's gone.
I like that, friend.
I like it too. I'm hungry for something to eat or drink or what.
Well, you got the knife there to cut it, and he's got some beef roast.
Well, let's go do it.
Let's get it.
Let's go do it. I'm so glad to be with you, Marshal. It's
Well,
just
thank
pretty
you,
good.
sir. Same with you.
Morning, Brother John.
Well, Ransom, how are you this morning, sir?
Managed to get out of bed.
Well, that's always good, isn't it? Get out of bed.
Sure is. Just good to wake up.
What news have you got?
I'm going to stop by and ask you if Henry brought them 2 bodies in from down the creek.
Yeah, we got all 3 of them laid out back and all fixed up and ready to go, and we'll see to it that they get a proper burial this afternoon.
And they was all dead.
Yeah, they pretty much did. Yeah.
We wouldn't want to bury them if they wasn't dead.
Sure wouldn't want to do that.
You know, the style of the day is part to her in a minute. Did you get that
Yeah,
done?
we got that all fixed up just right, and we'll tend to that little chore later.
That's good. That'd be $180 the feds owe.
$180. That's an awful lot of money.
I might have to get a little kickback on some.
Well, that'll be just fine.
Up for a bottle or 2.
Just fine. Yeah.
All right.
We'll fix them up later on today.
I wouldn't do no cooking. I'm going to give that to Bert, you know.
Okay. That sounds like a good deal. Now, I'll be kind of glad when you 2 guys get out of town because I'm running out of boxes.
Oh, Bert makes them boxes just overnight.
Bert's going to have to make us some more boxes.
Well, he can. Ain't much that sucker can't do.
Now, listen, I wanted to tell you that Temple Houston's upstairs. You might want to tell him.
Sam's son?
Yeah. And,
Where'd he come from?
I don't know, must come in on the stage.
Huh.
And you might want to tell Henry about that and see if he can't give him a little talking to.
I ain't seen him in a spell.
Well, he'll be around here later, I'm sure. But,
Old Henry's going to be just tickled because
Yeah.
he's been wanting to meet him for a long
yeah,
time.
and he tried upstairs. I wonder.
Oh, he just looks up to Temple Houston.
That's about all that's going on
Did you ever
around
hear
here.
that sucker could shoot them pistols?
Well, that's what I've heard.
Good.
Don't let him be shooting at me none if you...
And he's a lawyer. He shot him in the courthouse.
But anyway, give him a message on that if you can.
You got any hot coffee?
I sure do. You want a cup?
I'd like to have some, and you got any biscuits?
Well, we'll see what we can find.
Okay, it's a little gravy on the side.
All righty. It's a
got
deal.
it. Thank you, bud. Appreciate your work.
Thank you. Just set yourself down there somewhere.
I'm going to do that.
Oh, it's cold outside.
Well, a hot cup of coffee coming up.
Hey, Temple Houston.
Hello.
How you doing, my friend?
Good, Ransom.
Well, that's great. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Boy, you look nice.
Well, thank you.
We're not used to seeing people dressed up like that in Jericho, but we're not used to seeing many attorneys in Jericho either. Been reading quite a bit about you.
Nothing bad.
No. We get a little wild every once in a while, but they tell me you're just that kind of lawyer. Sit down there and have some coffee with me.
I'll do it.
Yeah, your old man, pardon my expression, but he just had a way of making a crowd holler, hooray, hoorah. You always look sharp. I mean, you look like a sharp rifle fixing to kill a buffalo.
You have to look the part.
I guess so. Being an attorney would be a little tough. But, boy, you've made a name for yourself. I've heard a lot
Yeah,
of
I'm not sure it's all good.
Cough medicine?
Yes.
I've had some of that lately, and thank you, Brother Jones. I appreciate that. Last time we met, Temple, we were sitting about like we are now. No, I had too much of that over at Burke's place last night. Have you been over?
Yes, I was over there last night.
Well, you know what I mean then. You got some pretty good whiskey over there. Did you say that gal in that red dress?
Oh, man.
Yeah. I can stop in sometime when I don't even want to drink just to get, a look at that. We talked last time, and you brought up my wife, and I made a regular ass out of myself, if you'll pardon the expression. I sort of teared up. I didn't know what to say, and I couldn't talk anyway, because, ain't nothing like seeing an old Marshal with a tear run down his face. That ain't good for the business. But I'll make this brief. When I left my home that morning, fairly early, the sun had just come up. I looked back, and she was sitting on the porch. She was rocking my little 3-month-old daughter. I can see it in my dreams at night. I see it every day while I'm riding. And I bought her a little old chime box, them little music boxes. And she reached over and took the lid off of that and looked up, and as well as I could tell, she looked me straight in the eye as if to say, I'll see you later. And to me that was touching. That really got a hold of me inside. And the reason I couldn't go ahead and explain that to you was she was later attacked. And they were killed by the Comanches that raided Bastrop down there. And her mother and daddy were killed also. I had gone up to the Pease River, been asked to come up there and sort of be a bird dog on a scouting expedition that old Colonel Charlie Goodnight, which you know, had taken on. They had the Army people there, cavalry people. They were looking at a group headed Nakona with a great Comanche chief. That was one of Parker's dead. Anyway, after I left there, I was attacked by 6 Comanches myself. And I thought maybe I could fight them off, retain life the way it was, and go home. I wanted to settle down, be a farmer, want to be a daddy, and a husband. But I love that woman, and I love that kid. And I had never loved anything like that before, so it was all new to me, and it was, I don't know how to say it without talking like a woman, it was sort of precious to me. I know that might sound a little bit sissy, but that's how I felt. And during the melee when we fought, I received 2 bullets over here on my left. Got the holes broken. I'm proud of those holes because I lived through them. Wound up with a Comanche knife that far from my heart. And I lay, I don't know, they called it something. I don't know much about coma. I think the coma. I lay in a coma for a long time. And didn't even know where I was at. I had some people taking care of me that were good people, homesteaders. And I got to where I could ride and travel. This was about 3 months since I'd been gone. I went over to Waco and I run into Mr. Bloomfield, who had a general store there. We bought some goods from him every now and then. And we visited for a while, and I bought me a cigar to chew on. And I could tell he wanted to say something, but I didn't know what. And little bitty, he just turned around and he said, not any way to tell you except straight out. He said, you be the kind of man you are, maybe you can handle it. He said, I'd rather you have word about your wife and child. And I said, how are they? He said, they're dead. Said the Indians raided through there and they were killed. And your in-laws were killed. And that just ended my world. It really did. That just ended my whole world. I didn't know what I was going to do next. Thought about going home, but I just couldn't go home. I just couldn't see what they had left. Got me a job as a deputy sheriff in Waco. That didn't last. Started drinking quite a bit. Just into a wrestle. And anyway, I wanted to explain that to you so you'd know I wasn't trying just to evade you or not be respectful of the question you asked me. And it's been long enough now to where I can sit and talk about it some. Now I got another proposition to make for you. I've got this young man that I met. Met him just 2 or 3 days ago, and the first day I met him, he saved my life. His name is Henry Marshall, and he works for the Galveston News. He's a reporter.
I'm familiar with Henry. I've read some of his articles.
Oh, have you? Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. That's going to make it. If you tell him that, it'll thrill him to no end. You can't imagine, because he's told me about you, and I said I know him. And he couldn't believe I knew you. I'd been lucky enough to meet you and run into you a time or two. He's become a pretty good friend. And I'd like to ask you a favor. Would you give him an interview? Who's that walking up on there?
The wind's blowing hard today. I tell you what, well, Marshal.
I'd like for you to meet a friend of mine. This is Temple Houston.
You don't have to introduce me, sir. How are you doing today? I have been I'm just at a loss for words right now. That usually doesn't happen, but you just don't understand, sir. I don't know if the Marshal here has told you, but I am a newspaper reporter for the Galveston News.
Yes,
Might I sit down?
I read some of your articles.
Sit down. You've read his articles already.
Yes, I already read some of his articles.
Oh, well, that is. Oh, thank you, sir. It's kind of hard for me to concentrate right now because I tell you, you're one of my heroes, sir.
Thank you.
You know what, fella? I'm going to eat my coffee, and I'm going to let y'all visit, and maybe you can get this article.
This is just a dream come true, sir.
Temple,
I'll shake your hand again, just so I can tell everybody I shook the hand.
I'll see you before you leave, and I appreciate, this is a friend of mine, I appreciate you helping him out. Thank you.
Put this over here, but...
Okay, men, gather your wires, and let's go. Shall we?
Talk to you later, Marshal.
Okay, I'll check that saddle for you.
Oh, thanks, sir. This is just a thrill for me, sir. I appreciate it. I just want to tell you, President Houston was one of the best men that ever walked this planet, I have to tell you that. And I know that you passed away when you were pretty young.
I was 3.
3 years old? And so you're a self-made man. All these things I've heard about you, and from shooting to law to everything. I heard about the shooting match that you had with William Bonney.
William Bonney approached me in Estacado and wanted to know if I'd be willing to have a shooting contest with him. Not a shootout, but just
So we wasn't going to draw down on you or
No.
anything? Oh, okay.
just a shooting contest. So we started out with cans and bottles, and shot cans and bottles for a while, and it wasn't telling us anything. So somebody came up with an idea to use a 10-star tobacco pouch, and so they threw the first one, and William shot at it and missed. So they threw it again, and I drew and fired, and
Probably dead center.
right dead center of the star.
Oh, okay, that's I've heard the truth.
So William Bonney shook my hand and said, well, there's no doubt that you're the best shot in the West.
Well, that's pretty amazing when Billy the Kid tells you this. Yes, sir. So, what else did he say to you? Did y'all part on friendly terms?
Yes, we shook hands, and I told him that I wished him the best, and that I hoped he could get his life straight.
Oh, okay.
And,
Well, that's pretty fair then. Great. So, if you don't mind me asking more questions, I've heard also from around different people that you went in something about a court case you had going on, and you had to shoot with both guns at the ceiling. And everybody I've ever heard shooting off in the court, you know, they don't walk out very to a free world.
the spectators and the jury were a little unruly, and the judge couldn't even get their attention. And so I drew both guns and shot through the ceiling.
What happened then?
Well, I asked for a recess and asked to speak to my client. So I took him in the back of the courtroom and advised him if he could get out the window to get on his horse and ride.
And so he just rode away.
Rode on.
What happened when he went back in the court?
Well, they were deliberating, and they found him innocent.
Well, how big?
Thank God.
I imagine. Well, it's kind of hard to prove that he would be not innocent when you got Temple Houston representing you. I do say, sir. Yeah, I've heard so many good stories about you, and it's just a thrill just to sit here and just be right across this table from you.
Well, son, I have matters to take care of.
I completely understand. I do not want to hold you up, and thank you so much for those words. And I will be writing about you in this meeting right here in the Galveston News.
Well, we'll be around town, and maybe we can visit again.
All right, I would appreciate that, sir, Bill.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. You just have a wonderful day. And I will see you next time, hopefully real soon.
Thank you.
Preacher, I've been wanting to speak to that man forever.
I like girls in red dresses.
With black feathers?
Bert, this is good whiskey.
Well, thank you. I always like to have old friends in. Dip it off the top of the barrel.
Oh, that's right. I consider you a friend too, and I got to because this is some of the best whiskey I've drank in a long time.
Tell you what, Bert, it's pretty good stuff.
Oh, they got you broke in right.
I believe so, because this got a good kick to it, and I'm liking it quite a bit.
Two of them and I'd be laying down here.
So what's going to happen today, Marshal?
I don't know, but if it's like every other day me and you've had since we've known each other, it's going to be active.
Oh, Mr. Marshal.
Well, hello, Mr. Marshal.
Yeah, I got your old shotgun ready.
Well, that is great. Thank you so much. You did a wonderful job on this, too.
Good. You bet. Oh, better be careful. It's loaded. I thought you might need it. Kastner just rode into town.
Kastner?
The Kastner.
Oh, he's heading this way.
There's your beer, Marshal. Bring him on. Well, that's the one I've been dreading. Ever heard of the Casners, honey?
I heard bad men.
That's what I've heard. When I come through Tascosa, they was talking about them. I've been dreading them ever since.
Casners, I'll help you.
Sit down, we don't need any help. We needed help when I brought him.
What do you want to do, Mark?
I ain't really sure, but we're gonna have to do something about that Casner man. I wanna get him, I wanna get in front of him, I wanna tell him what a no-count sucker he is. You keep hold of that shotgun.
Yes, sir.
Cause we'll all need a little help on this thing here.
Yes, sir.
It's loaded too, so it's ready.
You get over here and you keep that gun cocked and ready. If you have to, kill him. I mean, drop him, both barrels if you need to, because he's not worth living anyway.
Good to
All righty?
go. Good to go.
You can handle that.
Yes, sir.
Lucas.
Must be the law.
I'm the U.S. Marshal, Ransom Riley. You trying to intimidate somebody, son.
I've heard of you, Riley.
A lot of people.
The only difference between me and you is you get a check from the federal government and you got that badge.
That tag wouldn't make any difference. Would it make you better, feel better if I took it off? Because I'm going to accuse you when I get the chance. I'm holding no paper on me. I've run into people like you for the last 35 years.
Yeah, you know the law around here isn't much different than the outlaw.
Well, most of the people that I run into that I felt the way I feel about you are dead.
What are you looking at, Tin Horn?
Just staying where I am.
Get that gun off of me.
I'll take care of him. Leave his gun alone or I'll let him blow you in two.
Yeah, I don't like you much, Marshal. I got a feeling you had something to do with it, so.
Well, I hate to hear about that little fella, but I don't like you either. If I had papers on you, you'd be laying there bleeding. But I don't give a man much chance. I go after the man, not the glory. The sooner you learn to do that, the better off you're going to be. What you're doing now is making a damn fool out of yourself, and you're going to wind up dead like your brother.
Talk about my brother.
Now, wait a minute. I can understand your anguish. You've lost two brothers $50,000, $60,000 ago. I can understand that. What I can't understand is you hanging a 70-year-old woman by her thumbs, helpless, until she dehydrated completely and died from starvation because she didn't.
You know what they did to my brother?
They
They got all my money.
Well,
all that California, giving you that minute, that's gone.
But they got some more. You know what I think you ought to do is go out there and dig up some more gold and let this ride, because this is going to be your demise. So you be the judge, but you ain't got a chance of walking out of this Red Dog, I can promise you. And if you think you're a match for it, draw it right now, son. It doesn't make me a bit of difference. I got 2 bullet holes here, and they were put there by Indians, not some stupid cowboy trying to kill every innocent person they run across because he lost his brother.
Casner!
I'm sorry you
Luke
lost.
Casner! Come on out here! Luke Casner! Come on out here!
You call my name out there.
Luke Casner, come on out here!
You might have some more trouble to deal with.
I bet you do.
Good thing you don't have any paper on me.
Seems to follow you.
I didn't have no choice, Sheriff. Trying to make a name for themselves. You gonna arrest me now?
No,
offered just give it him. I still want it so bad I could just taste it, but I ain't got it on the way. How about I go get my gold and you go on out here with help me. I have 2 acres on y'all come to the bottom. They're on fast forward.
Well, Sheriff, hope I ain't back this way anytime soon. Yeah, let's go.
Marshal. Marshal. Marshal.
You holler at me, Missy. Little lady, I talked to you all day. You must be the same little gal that was asking about me at the hotel this morning. The preacher told me that some young lady had been asking about me, and yeah, I got time to talk to you. Sure. Are you having trouble, or what's the problem?
I don't think so. I might be wrong, though. Does this sound familiar to you?
My God. Where did you get that?
My mother gave it to me when I was a little girl.
Your mother. I had a box like that one time. And it's a long story, but I left one night, and the last thing that I remember seeing was a little girl in her mother's lap, and they were rocking on the front porch. And she was opening this box as I rode away. But they were killed in an Indian raid when I was up on the Pease River. And you look a lot like that lady. What's your name?
Lizzie. Yeah.
You're Lizzie?
Lizzie Faye White.
White. You got a husband, haven't you?
Yes, I do. Yes.
And you're my daughter.
I think so.
It's been so long.
I think so.
It's been so long. This is, you'll never know how many nights I've laid my head on the bedroll and wanted to hear this. How can you be here?
The neighbors raised me. Mama died.
In the raid?
Yes.
And you've been alive all these years?
Yes.
God, my girl came out of your neck.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I really can't, it's almost unbelievable that I'm standing here holding my daughter's hand. And in a lot of years, honey, I've killed people that probably didn't even need to be killed because I was mad at the world. When you've proven to me there is a God, and He's smiling down on this old man right now, and He's twilight of His years. I'm so grateful that you chose that electric heart. I love you so much.
I'm so glad I found you.
You don't have any qualms about having a little drink with your daddy for a celebration?
Not a bit.
Honey, I got something to celebrate tonight.
Yes.
Hey there, preacher man, come here.
Right here.
What are you doing?
Well, I got some whiskey for you.
Well, you've been standing on that porch listening to us, haven't you?
Sure have. Watched everything.
Yeah, that's good right there.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'll tell you what, no joke, that'll take the hair off a frog's lips. No joke. But moderation, that's the way it goes.
Yes.
Well, let's have it.
Let's have a little
We
taste
don't
of
need
this.
them cups.
Well, yeah, we do.
Why?
Well, civilized.
Hey, you're thinking a lady ought to drink out of a cup.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Well, let's just take a little shot then. That's
All right.
You know, preacher, it's good to have you in on this.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, that's plenty. Thank you.
Well, you might want to sip that, honey.
Thank you.
All right, this is a toast to my new daughter that I found. Bless her heart, she had to run me down. But she come to me, and I got to hug her a while ago, and that was the best feeling I believe I ever had in my life. And I can look into her eyes right now and see her mother standing there.
This is the best toast I've ever had.
Well, bless your heart. Let's go with it.
Sure enough.
Just sip it. Oh, bird. Makes some pretty good, you know, that, all right.
That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, sure is. I'll put that stopper back in there. And y'all need any more?
I'm in good shape, thank you.
Well, just one more round. We ought to have another. Come on. Let's do it again. Everybody this way. Let's go one more. Y'all don't want any more.
No. Don't need no more.
Well, let's go to the hotel and see if he's got anything to eat. Have you?
Got some victuals all ready to go.
Well, let's get out of here and go to the hotel and get something to eat.
Sounds good to me.
That's good. What do you think, Marshal? Henry, hey, I wanted to thank you for being so kind to my daughter and her husband.
Well, sir, I appreciated meeting your daughter, and I think your daughter and son-in-law are good people. I'm sorry you didn't get to be with them very long, but I'd like them to come down and run my ranch.
You're going to make them your ranch manager, I guess.
Yes, sir. Let's get on out of here.
I'd heard she was killed. I went all through these years.
I know all about the story, sir. We had a good talk, too. And
when she walked up behind me and said, Daddy, had that music time, whew, it changed my whole life.
I can see that. I was watching you.
Bless your heart. Well, thank you.
You bet.
You know, I saw old Sam Houston once. I never did get to meet him. He rode by in a parade, and you would have thought he was the king of the world. Well, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Henry. I ain't decided yet whether I want to retire or not. I think I got 3 or 4 killings left in me. We can talk about it. You're just getting a little older, and I hate to bring it up. Henry, I think I might get to Galveston to see you one of these days. Is that all right? Give me a chance to think on it. And, as hell getting old, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to go this way, take me to Amarillo. You go that way and we'll see what we can do, okay? And, you take care of yourself, because I think a lot of you.
I think a lot of you, Mark.
Thank you for offering Lizzie and James that job.
You got a place down there.
Don't do me a favor.
Yeah.
I'm not going to forget you. Will you not forget me?
I couldn't if I wanted to, sir.
I'll see you, my buddy. Check with you later. Oh, hell, Henry.
Yeah, do it, Mark.
Looks like we ain't going to be nothing but friends for the rest of our lives. Let's go to Galveston and look at the ocean. Let's go. Got a long ride, so let's just act like we know what we're doing.
The good thing about Galveston is a whole lot warmer.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's windy.
Yeah, and I can see what that Taronka looks like.
Yeah, like it. It treats you well.
Yeah.
Oh, Henry, I sure appreciate you asking them kids to come down and run that ranch for you. Old Lizzie was tickled pink with that, and she wanted to spend some time with me, and God knows I need to spend some time with her. I got a lot of years to make up. Might even have me a grandbaby, I don't know. And I've been thinking about what you said about me slowing down a little bit. I don't notice it quite so bad because I just on a daily run all the time anyway. But here lately I've had a few aches and pains that I didn't have last year. I'm guessing just not wanting to admit and getting a little old, trying to apprehend this old boy and chase this one down. Every time I put my old foot up there in a stirrup, I find it's just a little slower getting straddled in the saddle, you know what I mean? It's not as much fun as it used to be. Getting out of bed's a little slower in the morning. Now I know what you're going to say. It's that old bourbon. And it might be. I don't know. Might be. But I'll probably slow down on that stuff now and sort of try to be a family man as much as I can. I'm going to go ahead and go to Galveston.
How are y'all doing? I'm Dr. Brett. I'm a massage therapist, had 19 years experience. So what I'm here to do is tell you that in today's high-stress world, massage has become a necessity. I practice massage therapy at Relaxation Retreat of Clear Lake. You're in a high-stress position, you're just trying to make things work, trying to better your life, and the whole world is coming down on top of you. Try massage therapy. It'll keep you going right, keep you going forward. You can accomplish your goals.
Danged if he didn't try to get away. And that captain and those buffalo soldiers just put him up in a tree, and he won't be bothering nobody no more. He's still a swinging.
They hung the old goose.
He's still a swinging.
What are you doing? We're doing a scene. We were doing a scene. Hey, pretty boy, we were doing a scene. Pretty boy. Now,
And his name is Thomas, I'm sorry, I keep thinking about Thomas. His first name, I'm sorry, we'll just back up and we'll start again. Is that all right?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I'm goofed up. I go right there.
You start right there.
Okay. And he's a good man. He's been reporting for the Galveston News for a long time. His name is
Henry Marshall.
Okay, let's do it again without the look.
I keep wanting to call you Henry.
Okay, just back up. You can always start right back at the place I got. On another subject, I got this guy, this kid, then just start right there.
I've got this.
Henry Marshall.
Okay, you know Henry Marshall.
Why she telling some stupid ass story?
Oh, well, okay.
Let me tell you about this great goat herd.
Now, how about the time?
Up there on that red.
Emmett or Comanche, I can read signs.
Perfect. Come on, they got more bullshit. Go ahead. Don't mind me. Whatever. Just however you guys been doing it.
Should you say, do I hear company coming, or?
Hello, we can do it anywhere.
We're going to be saying, oh, hold up.
Check me on that.
We got to get this thing in my britches so it don't
Please
jump out
do.
again.
This is going to be a movie for kids, too.
Well, right as we was walking off, I felt it like, I hope they didn't get on film. That's what the girls do. The hoochie coochie girls. I think it's time for snoring.
I think you're right. I'm going to say it's afternoon. Would y'all care to partake a wee bit?
That's some good stuff there now.
Good recipe.
That's so badass. Oh, yeah.
I may have to do the bend over. Getting that up's getting rough.
Suck at that. Where you say Kasner, and then he
Somebody
says...
has to say Kasner, the thing that brings me up.
Kasner brothers.
Kasner, I'll help you.
Say it again, okay, let's do it.
You ain't nothing but lucky.
Quiet on the set.
Wherever you are, can't let your memory go. And if they straightened out all the land in Colorado.
Timothy Houston come into the Red Dog Saloon and had a drink with us.
I almost asked him, is it true that you died at 41, Pipple?
My hair?
But you know, really, you get so involved in these parts, you're just not going to say something. Is it true you had a Camaro?
Hold it right there for a second. Are your glasses in the era? Those glasses are the right era?
Are they in the same date and time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think I heard you say.
All right, that's all I wanted.
That's the reason I can't hardly see you and I can't hardly hear you. You got my hair and my glasses.
Okay, all right, that's good. We got a lot of good stuff
You
going.
know how I'm sitting there when you said I can't say Yahoo. Hell, hadn't you ever been on a computer?
I don't mind to get you guys off the track.
Gee, we had a roll.
We had Ozzy Osbourne in there. We got to take the.
Well, I hadn't seen you, Ramsey, in a long time. It's good to see you. I hadn't had an opportunity to see you.
Well, Jimmy, it's not Ramsey, it's Ransom.
Well, I appreciate
Take it again.
That's how long.
Back up to the beginning.
We got our first blooper.
Well, I'm going to do it. Thank you very much, and you just have a wonderful day.
Okay.
You're the glue that holds this foundation of this town together.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hey! Hey! Mister! Got a gun on! Oh!
Worn out photograph that's on my table. A photograph of you from long ago. I think it was Abilene, might have been Palestine, but wherever it was, I can't let your memory go. Honey, we had some happy days in Texas. Our love was true as the wild blue bonnets grow. But baby, it didn't last too long. I looked and you were gone. But wherever you are, I can't let your memory go. And if they straightened out all the land in Colorado, then it would reach for miles and miles out in the sea. If I had tried a little bit harder to love you, then you would still be with Texas and me. And if they straightened out all the land in Colorado, then it would reach for miles and miles out in the sea. If I had tried a little bit harder to love you, then you would still be with Texas and me. Then you would still be with Texas and me.
stop smoking, so I came to see Dr. Brett, and it worked very well.
This is about dealing with your problems in a very positive and constructive manner. And with clinical hypnosis, we can accomplish your goals.